Hey there, YouTubers! Welcome to Gertie Birch's Cannabis Club! GORDIEBIRCH. Gertie Birch. Gertie Birch. Okay, that was lame. But it was fun. Say hi to Mickey. Sorry about that, guys, but I'm trying to get my mood up. Trying to build my positivity for today because every day has to be met with that. Otherwise, we fall apart, I think. Or at least I know. Okay, guys, it's Weedy Weekend number 12. Wow, 12 weeks, 3 months. 3 months I've been doing this. I'm going to keep doing it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the learning I do to bring it to you. Someday I'll get this going live, right? But I'm not sure Weedy Weekends for going live. I think maybe what I need is just a live Saturday smoke out or something like that, or sometime during the week. I'll think about that. I'll really think about that. But first, we have to start with you guys tell me what you're smoking. I'll do the best with what I got because my delivery still is out there. It's out there, only a few blocks away, but I can't get it. So I have what was given to me as a premium electric Kush, which has caused me troubles because that's all I have is the Kush, very indica, and I have an oil that is very indica. So last night, Saturday night, I was in bed by 9 o'clock because I was just too tired. That's kind of how things were when for a little while I tried to medicate off street stuff, was because if you don't medicate right, it's not helping you. It's really not helping. Um, Certainly this is going to help me with my pain today and the oil as well, and to some degree with my mood. But as the day goes on, using indica all day, you just get more and more tired. And for a person with depression, you need, who's using cannabis to medicate, you need that upper. You need that sativa to boost your mood. That's why I'm playing games, because games at least get your endorphins going and get the right mood going. And since I don't have sativa, I have to find natural ways to boost that. So cheers to all of you, because I need the painkiller. So cheers. And that's just a little lesson from me. The rest of Weedy Weekend is the things that I've found for you during the week, and others have passed on to me to share with you during the week since the last Weedy Weekend. And we have, I think it's 5 or 6 topics to cover today. As normal, I just go to the topic and discuss it. I don't read it out to you. I give you my opinion on it. Then I'll copy it down below, let you read up on it, make your opinions known. You know, that's what it's supposed to be. We're trying to share, and we're trying to bring the legality of this plant to everybody. So let's start with, oh, don't show me this again. Don't show me this again there. I really don't like those pop-ups that come on other people's programs. So the first one, marijuana helps heal broken bones. I shared something similar to this a little while ago when they were first coming across the knowledge of very, very deep down in the molecular area, CBDs seemed to help calcium construct the bones. And this is the follow-up of this. Very new and promising for marijuana that CBD works wonders for rats with broken limbs. It not only helps the rebuild of the bone happen faster, but it actually makes it stronger than before it was broken. This is why I say this chemical, this plant, this gift is supposed to be in all of us. We're supposed to be using it on a regular daily basis. Here I've had my own child taken away from me for something that should be in us. It should probably be in him. It should be in his mother for sure. So, you look, I really hope that you will read this article because it's really amazing what they are finding when they dig down into the medical properties of this plant. They have found zero negatives since legalities have been growing. Zero negatives. They have disproved all the negatives, the myths that we've busted over time. And almost every week, sometimes every day, new discoveries towards how this plant can help us medically just live better. So if it's helping heal, imagine people like me who have had it in their system their whole lives. I only worry what would happen if I totally took it out of my system, because my system, our systems, we have cannabinoid systems, thousands of receptors that want to be plugged by this plant. It's a part of us. So that's marijuana helping broken bones. I love that idea. I love that idea. Just another new area, and I'm going to cheers to it, another new area where marijuana is helping people. Again, helping, not hurting. Peace, cheers, love. It's a wonder plant. It's a super wonder plant. Now, my next story. Let's move on. My next story is something that I shared with a lot of happiness, because they're digging deeper into marijuana. Seems to be the only drug that they've found. It's called "When Weed is the Cure: A Doctor's Case for Medical Marijuana." And I'll let you read it. But basically, it's that there are no other products that seem to really help when nerve endings are frazzled. That's the basis of fibromyalgia, which I have, fibromyalgia for men. I don't know why they call it that. I'm a man, I have it. But nerve endings in our bodies are usually very, very, but fibromyalgia patients usually have frayed nerves throughout their bodies and frayed in their back. Marijuana is the only drug that they have found that settles those frays and can actually even repair them. So again, here we are, another story of marijuana working towards a cure, or at least now some backing that this is exactly what I need for my pain, because my pain is not caused by a cut. My pain is caused by nerves that are frazzled, that are cut, that don't go right to the end of things. It can be seen very clearly with my hands. The redness in there, all the torn nerves. It's called palm erythema. That's another part of it. So this is a really good story. Again, I'm going to read this one part. It turns out some of the best evidence for medical marijuana is actually for what's called neuropathic pain, which is pain caused by the nerves themselves. So unlike pain that's caused by arthritis or sometimes some kinds of cancer in which the nerve endings of pain fibers are stimulated, which causes pain. Neuropathic pain is caused by disruption of damage to the nerves themselves. That kind of pain can be really, really difficult to treat. In my experience, this is the doctor talking, as a palliative care physician, it didn't respond nearly as well more traditional nociceptive pain does to drugs like morphine. So there really is a need to find newer, better treatments for neuropathic pain. And so there have been a lot of trials focusing on medical marijuana for neuropathic pain because all other alternatives for treatment are pretty limited. So this is the new path that they're going. They're going down this path because morphine and other Percocets and stuff like that can't help neuropathic pain. At least very, very limited they do. And that's why when I was through my trials of trying to find out what, working with Health Canada, trying to find out what works for me, none of those painkillers worked for me. I still had a fair amount of pain, but I had the numbingness and the side effects of those drugs. They were awful. Now I have this. So we're going to do a cheers to that story. This time I'm going to try a little bit of my oil that my good friend Nubs gave me a deal on. So, but one thing I found with this, I have a hard time with this stuff. This stuff is really strong and produces a lot of smoke. So I take a lot smaller dabs now, even at low temp, because I find it difficult to recover. It's just an oil that's difficult to recover from. I do like the high. So cheers to neuropathic pain being solved. And that is a very clean oil. He told me he mixed quite a few different products, quite a few different pots. Most of them really high in THC and one really high in CBD. So I do find that this oil is really, really relaxing and really, really nice. It's just not my morning oil. You know, what was supposed to be delivered was a lemon sativa shatter. That would help me so good in my mornings. And not only that, in fighting the migraines that I have found that sativa kills my migraines. Indica doesn't do much for them except for help the pain around them. Let's move on to the next story. And this story, not sure if you're still watching me, Ray, but Racy 1962 must be close to this story. Glenn Price in Winnipeg had his own, had been shut down by the police because he was selling, he had his own dispensary and the police shut him down because of complaints and because he didn't have the proper licensing. But he was backed by a couple of hundred patients and was only serving for one doctor. So, you know, license schmeisens, he started up again. He's upwards around 400 patients now, thanks to the actual media coverage of his shutdown. And he had a smoke in front of the police department. And so this is an interview with Jason Wilcox and Glenn Price. Jason Wilcox is a cannabis fighter here in Canada. that he and I have talked a bit online, but I hope to know him better. He really stands up strong against Health Canada and for us, the medical people. So watch the interview. It'll be below. It's a good interview with Glenn Price. It's a vocal interview, but there's still an awful lot of good information about Canada and what we can do to change these. Health Canada, it says right on there, if you legislate further, you will be met with full force Section 7 and Section 1 constitutional challenges. They are stepping on our constitutional rights. Health Canada has gone too far. So for that, I'm going to cheers with a bit of flower, and cheers to all of you. We need this in Canada, and you in the States understand it. Some of you need it too. We need to fight the bullshit and do some slight bending of the law to force changes in law. Cheers. I do look forward to my delivery from MMJ. Should be here tomorrow. Oh, and also, this is a very important piece tied to Bill C-51. For those of you who aren't going to read that, watch that YouTube, this is really important for you to know. In Canada, because of Bill C-51 passing, we fought that for a long time and it passed. Protests, we cannot do protests anymore. Protests, they've used that word and it's dangerous. It ties you to terroristic activities now. We don't do protests. In Canada now, we have Charter 2 assemblies. We have the right under Charter 2 of our rights and freedoms, under Charter 2, to assemble peacefully. We still have that right. They did not, in Bill C-51, attack our right to assemble. They attacked our right to protest. So as long as we do not use the word protest in our sit-ins, we are having assemblies, Charter 2 assemblies. If they want to play games with words, we'll play games with words. They can't break up an assembly. They can break up a protest. What a world we're living in. I used to encourage my kids to protest because that's how you make government better. Now government says, I don't want to get better, so you guys, we're going to make it illegal. Bill C-51 should have never made it through. I will not cheers to that. My next story, I love this story. This is one of my favorites. It is 10 strains that produce great Kief. Now, I'm not going to read all 10 strains to you. It'll be attached below. But what I like about the story is the realization of Kief as such a great product, and how the story goes on to not only explain what Kief is to some of you who don't know, but it goes on to tell us how to get more out of your plants, how to get more Kief. Kief is the very round end of the trichome, the resin. It truly is the resin. When gathered, it looks like brown sugar, depending on the color of the plant, but most of it will be, no matter what, a very light amber. I haven't seen too much dark Kief. I've seen a bit of greenish Kief, but it'll look like sugar. However, it is resin. It truly is resin that is holding together. So you can even press Kief. If it's really good Kief, you can press Kief into a nice dabbable piece. So if you haven't tried Kief, try it. It's wonderful. I wish I still had some. I honestly gave the last of my Kief away because I knew somebody who kind of needed a little boost. So I gave her the Kief. That's what this plant is about. It's about sharing. Peace. Mmm. Still nice tasting. Still nice tasting. Kush is something that I usually smoke at night, not during the day. But again, that's all I have. You make do. Now, the final story of the day is my own. I will attach it again, but you could just look it up separately. Weedmyths Busted Edibles. I'd like you guys to tell me any weed myths you'd like me to try to bust. I'll see if I can bust them. That was fun. Edibles, I wanted to bust all the myths about edibles, how you can OD on them, how they just, it's worth watching. It really is worth watching. I think there's too much of the Nancy Grace bullshit. You feed your kid marijuana cookies? No, nobody feeds anybody anything. And I even had a comment. I know it was tongue in cheek, but edibles, you want your kids to enjoy pot? That's the myth about edibles, is that it makes marijuana too inviting, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Edibles is just a better way to medicate. That's what it is. That's what it is. In fact, on that, I start off just talking about it and that I'm going to have some, and then I tell you that I've already had it. Most people wouldn't even notice that you're high on edibles when you're high on edibles if you know what you're doing. Always listen to your friends. So that is the last one. It's just referring to one of my previous. But again, it's me saying I'd like more comments because I'd like you to challenge me to do stuff. I know there was the stop, drop, and glob, which I haven't done yet because dropping is not an easy thing for me. So and it was really hot, stop, drop, and glob on the weekend that I had my son, so I couldn't. And then I said I'd do it, but then I ran out of stuff to glob with. Now I have some, and now most people aren't posting anymore, so I don't know if I'm part of that. So, peace. Let's have one more cheers. I'll show you my little piece of amber. Got lots of that, but I like to use it just as you can see right through it, and you can use it sort of as a shotgun or a lid for your pot so it doesn't keep burning. First taste always the best, the green toke. Get all that. You're getting that Kief, you're getting the trichomes, you're getting the resin taste, you're getting the best part is that first toke, first couple. So we are at 25 minutes. That's way too long. Too long. You guys don't want me for 25 minutes. How many of you are even going to press play? So cheers to all of you. Happy weekend. I know it's Sunday, but maybe some of you have Mondays off. I wish you all the best. And I hope that you'll check out my other videos. I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, I hope you share this because the more the merrier. I like being a weed tuber. I like having friends online. So peace, love, harmony. You see someone without a smile today, give them yours. You'll another one will slide into place, okay? Peace.